Hello team and family, this is multiplying integer word problems video number 1. Last week, Sergio wrote 6 checks for $15 each from his checking account, withdrew $80 and $30. He deposited $25. What was the change in the balance of his account over the week? So we're going to actually do something that's a little bit new. We're going to practice a new problem solving process that helps pull out important information. So, first thing we're going to do in the top left is draw a picture. So, I've got Sergio, and he's got an account, and it looks like I'm putting money into the account, but I'm also taking money out of the account. So it's a little bit of both. So I'm going to read it one more time. Last week, Sergio wrote 6 checks for $15 each from his checking account, withdrew $80 and $30. He deposited $25. What was the change in the balance of his account over the week? So now I'm going to do a table to kind of organize the data. So I'm going to put transactions. Transaction can either be positive or negative, just depending on what's happening. Then I'm going to put plus or minus on the bottom. So for the first transaction, he wrote 6 checks for $15 each. When you write checks, that's a negative. And I'm writing 6 checks for $15 each. So I'm going to put underneath that it should be a negative number. Next, he withdrew $80 and $30. So he withdrew $80. Put a third transaction. He withdrew $30. And last, transaction number 4, he deposited $25. Put $25 and put a plus in front of it because depositing is positive. You're putting money into your account. And withdraw is negative because you're taking money out of your account. So for the last part, I'm going to read the problem and just underline the question. Underline the question. Last week, Sergio wrote 6 checks for $15 each from his checking account, withdrew $80 and $30. He deposited $25. What was the change in the balance of his account over the week? So what was the change in his account over the week? So underline the question. The main thing I'm looking for is the change in the account. So in this last box, it's my solve and check. I'm going to solve it and just check to make sure it's correct. So first I've got 15 times 6. 6 times 5 is 30. 6 times 1 is 6 plus 3 is 9. So I got negative 90 because I said it was going to be negative because when you write checks you're taking it out of your account. I've got negative 80, negative 30, and positive 25. So I'm going to put negative 90 plus negative 30, or negative 80, excuse me, plus negative 30, and then plus 25. So I've got 3 negatives. I can add those up and just keep the sign. 90 plus 80 is 170. 170 plus 30 is 200. So I have 200 negative plus 25 positive. So when I'm adding 2 different signs, I'm kind of canceling them out. I'm taking them away. So I'm going to do 200 minus 25. You can't take away 5 from 0, so you're going to have to borrow. 2 becomes a 1, 0 becomes a 9, the other 0 becomes a 10. 10 minus 5 is 5. 9 minus 2 is 7. And 1 minus 0 is 1. So I have 175. And then I just need to put my sign back, which was a negative, because there were more negatives than positives. The absolute value of the negative number was bigger. So my answer is negative 175. And for the last part, checking, I go through and check my math. 15 times 6 is 90. I know that it was a negative 90. Then negative 90 plus negative 80 plus negative 30. 90 plus 80 was 170. 170 plus 30 is 200. And then 200 plus, 200, which is negative. Negative 200 plus 25 is negative 175. So I check through my math and it checks out.